If there is one thing that's certain for every single one of us, it's that we're all getting older. Hi, I'm Dr. Bree and I just turned 45 and I want to talk to you today about flexibility exercises for the knees and the hips and how we can maintain healthy knee and hip flexibility as we get older. I'm going to show you my favorite exercise with 3 different ways to do it so that you can join me no matter what level you are at today. And I'm also going to share with you the reason why we want to do an exercise like the one I'm going to show you instead of just a basic squat. So to start with just a little bit of anatomy to kind of get our brains warmed up about what we're doing. Our knee joint is a hinge type of joint. So it can extend and it can flex. There's not a lot of rotation that happens at the knee. That rotation happens at the hip. So our hip joint has a lot more mobility. It is inherently a little less stable than other joints in the body because it's so incredibly mobile, and we want to keep that mobility as we get older. The same with the ankle. The ankle is quite mobile as well. It can circle around, it can flex and extend, it can go inward and outward. So we want exercises that really talk to all of the joints in our lower body. We want to not just flex and extend, but we want to have a little bit of rotation at the ankle and hips as well, which is why I love this exercise I'm going to show you. Now, you might say to yourself, I'm over 60 or I'm over 70. I shouldn't be doing any type of bending exercise. And that's just not true. I did have a client once tell me that she was telling her father, who was in his 70s at the time, to stop doing his deep knee bends. He would do something like 40 or 50 deep knee bends every day, and he felt great. But my client was saying, I need my dad to stop because he's too old. He shouldn't be doing this anymore. And I had to say, no, I think your dad, if he's feeling good, he should keep going, because if you don't use it, you lose it. We've got to keep moving our joints in order to keep them strong and healthy, as long as it's feeling good. Now, if you're having pain, then that's a different story. But if it's feeling good, then keep moving. And if it's not feeling good, that doesn't mean you should stop moving or never move. It just means you need to work up slowly to more mobility. Okay? So to that end, let's go ahead and get into my favorite move, which is what I call froggy squats, 3 different ways. So I'm just rolling up my pants and I've put my hair up so you can really see what's going on. We are going to be working the rotation and the flexion and extension of all of our joints, ankles, knees, and hips. So let's begin by turning our legs out. So your heels are together and your toes are apart. This is external rotation at the hips. Now, for our first level of this froggy squat, it's really going to be more of a diamond squat. So you're going to bring your knees apart and then together. So knees bend and they go outward. So don't let the knees stay in. We want the knees to track out over the 3rd, 4th, 5th baby toes, not going over the middle toe. So let those knees track out. And in fact, press into the outer feet. Press to open the knees outward. Don't let them fall in. Even this is a good workout. And then stand up, pressing the knees together, feeling those inner thighs light up. So just a couple more times like this. If you say, my knees are popping, things are cracking and creaking, here's my thing. If it's painful, then stop and talk to somebody, go to a physical therapist, see if there's something that they need to help you with. But if there's just little snap, crackles, and pops, it's okay. I have it too, and I'm fine. So just go like 5 more times to practice this version with me. You want to exhale on the way up as you straighten your legs, and then inhale on the way down to keep the breath flowing. All right, our next variation is going to be a little bit deeper. So for this, you might want to have a chair or something to put your hands on in front of you. What we're going to do now is a version where you are going a little bit deeper with those knees, keeping the back flat, and this is just moving us down toward the full expression of the pose. So you can see my feet are still in the same shape where my heels are together, toes are apart. It's kind of like I have a big slice of pizza or pie between my legs. Your hands could be on the seat of a chair or your elbows. And you are going to come down a little bit lower, getting a little more mobility. This is kind of like a next step on our way down toward the full pose. So knees come apart and then exhale together. What you want to be sure that you're not doing is tucking your bum under, rounding your back, hunching. We don't want this. This is not good for your pelvic floor. It's not good for your back. So we want to untuck the bum and really bend those knees and exhale as you straighten the legs. Feel the inner thighs come together. You're feeling that rotation at the hips and you are really feeling that deep flexion and extension of the knees. Okay, let's go to the full pose. Now for the full pose, you could have a couple blocks. You could have something that you can put your hands on so you don't have to be all the way down like I'm gonna show you. So just know, have props available if you need them. But the full pose is that we're going to have our hands down on the floor. Look at my ankle mobility right here. This is, again, it's what we're working up to. So use props to get yourself down to where I'm at now. Your heels are lifted, but they're still close together. The toes are down on the ground and they're still outward and apart. So let's show you from a different angle, the foot position. Look at the knees. They are strongly bent. The hips are open. Now, from this position here, this frog shape, you are going to exhale and lift your bum up toward the sky. Again, hands on blocks or a bolster or something is a really, really helpful step one if you can't get down on the floor. Because what I don't want is your back to be rounded and hunchy like this. We want to get to the point where you can really hinge at your hips. So my knees are apart and out. My heels are lifted off the ground. I'm looking forward, heart is forward, and then exhale. Feet come down, heels are down, but they're still together. Heels are still together, but my heels are on the floor. And then as my knees bend, the heels come up. I'll show from some different angles so we can get the feel for what's going on here. Here's from the side. And here's from the back. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Now, I love this exercise because it is so good for flexibility of the hamstrings, of the back. It works the inner thighs. It mobilizes the knees, the ankles, the hips. It is great for perking and lifting the buttocks. It's also, as long as you're doing it correctly, a wonderful pose where your hips are really elevated, higher than your heart. It can be a great pose for people with pelvic organ prolapse to help gently reposition the pelvic organs. It's like an inversion where your hips are high. Now, if you're doing it wrong, if you are having pain, of course, don't do this, or if you're hunching through your low back, then that can be a problem because that can put a lot of pressure downward on your pelvic organs. We don't want that. So just be sure that if you're doing this full pose, that you're ready for it, or that you're using props to help you so that you can prepare for the full pose if you're not quite ready to go all the way down to the floor. So yoga blocks or stacks of books, something like that, to help bring the ground up to you if you don't quite have the mobility yet. Now, lunges, basic squats, deep knee bends, these are not things you need to stop doing once you reach a certain age. In fact, they can be so good to keep doing to maintain the flexibility of your hips, your knees, your ankles. This diamond squat, frog squat move, so good for continuing to maintain your flexibility, mobility, and strength. So don't stop moving just because you've reached a certain number on your lifespan, just because you have a certain number of birthday candles on your birthday cake. Keep moving. Just be sure that you're doing so in a way that is safe for your body, that you've gradually worked up to, and see a physical therapist in person if you need one-on-one advice or support. And let me know if you try these froggy squats, these diamond squats, any of the variations I showed you. I think they're just a wonderful exercise for your lower body, and they feel so good, especially in the morning when I'm stiff. It's a great way to really incorporate my breathing and my flexibility all into one move. So enjoy. Also remember that age is just a number, and your vitality, your life force is the feeling that we are wanting to maintain and continue to prosper throughout life. So keep moving to keep that vitality, that life force going, especially as you get older, wiser, more mature, more life wisdom in you. You are powerful. As you age, you can become more and more and more powerful. Please remember that. We want to do powerful aging. We don't want to avoid aging or stop aging or anything like that. We want to keep aging powerfully and with mobility and flexibility and strength. Until next time, bye.